So it's the morning after the night before my TED talk, and how exhausting emotionally and physically was that.
And you've been hanging around for some time now. And ooh, been telling my friends how you're the class clown. And does he now realize that I ain't coming around to the sea?
So it's been a 6-month roller coaster, and yeah, the last 4 months it really picked up, and then literally the last month, bang, trying to rehearse your talk, get your script right, and then realize you have this not a visualization, you have a realization. This is how tired I am. You have a realization, actually you don't work that way. I don't work with scripts. I don't work with everything written down to the point, but I push myself and force myself because these are what TEDx's rules are. I should have broke the rules. I learned that my preparation wasn't the right preparation for me. I tried to stick this round peg in a square hole, and I don't fit that. Hence why my talk didn't go to plan yesterday. It went well, it was good. I was very much me in the realization of being vulnerable and being honest and authentic. That is my style. But in trying to prep it in someone else's way, it didn't quite fit the way I should have delivered it. In hindsight, I should have tried to stick to me and my prep, but I was so fixated on trying to please other people and trying to do something that's perfect and it's just not my style and just isn't me. And when I say style, I don't mean it's my style. It's just very not much how. I'm so tired. Anyway, let's not dwell on any negatives. It made an impact on people. I got my message across. It was good. It was a good experience. I learned a hell of a lot from it, and I met some amazing, authentic people. Yeah, I met some really decent people. Some people that very humbled me in a very special way. Some people that educated me. Some people that really, I saw their heart brands come out on stage, which was all about what my talk was about. A lot of issues and challenges around mental health. I wasn't expecting that. Certainly not in a TEDxED, education-based place. I wasn't expecting these challenging issues with mental health. What's really interesting is that I found that I was really hung up on the fact that I missed a couple of lines out that I thought were really key to my story and my journey, when in actual fact they weren't really important. They were about me. The important piece was actually about the people who my story was about, and I got that across. I suppose really I was trying to conform to someone else's way, and I should have used that as guidelines and not as my real fixation on how to do an amazing TED Talk, because I didn't do an amazing TED Talk, I did a good TED Talk. But if I'd have been me, actually no, I was me. The real me was trying to fight against this structure that I'd put in place, which just wasn't me. What I should have done was taken the structure, scripted my talk, and then literally picked out the pieces that were me. No, that's not right either. What I should have done was taken that script and just put it into chunks, sort of, highlights, this one-liner, and then focused on my one-line points that would have, my anchor points, I suppose, which would have brought me into my TED Talk. So rehearsed my anchor points, and they would have been my prompts for my TED Talk. I suppose self-sabotage has made me learn the hard way. I did a good TED Talk. I'm very much a perfectionist, and I know, and I preach this every day, there is no such thing as bloody perfection, but something in here wants me to do my best so that I can please everybody else, and it should just be pleasing me. And as long as I give value, which is what I preach every day, then that's okay. What's really funny is, just after my TED Talk, we had a young lady, a young student, 14, 15 years old, who was stressing and literally in tears behind me, and I wasn't aware until Nat came over and said, "Can I borrow you for a minute?" She came over and said, "This young girl's nervous and she's worried about not saying the right things." I went over and said, "I've just screwed my lines up because I was too fixed and focused on it. So go out there, be you, say it from your heart." I'm like, stupid boy, why didn't I do that? Because then what I did say was from my heart. And see, and I'm now beating myself up. Do you see what this is all about? I hope people learn from this. I hope people get this. The perfect TED Talk is to be you, and Yes, there is a structure, but it's a structure. It's not concrete. It's not nailed down to the ground. So just continue to be you. Find a way that works with that structure, which is suits you, and then go do that. Go all in on that, because you'll be so much more authentic. So the fact that I've been so hard on myself has just reaffirmed, actually, I'm on the right path, I'm doing the right thing, and you should do you too. Don't give a monkeys about what other people think. There was one person in that room, Dr. Neil Hawkes, and he was my anchor. I saw him. He was there at the bottom of the corner of the stage on the front row, and everything I was saying, he was just nodding and agreeing and taking. I was just like, that man has bought into me, so I'm going to talk to him. I'm going to talk to him, and he was my anchor, and he was a rock, and there's a reason we've connected. I don't know what that is yet, but he got on stage. Actually, before he got on stage, he sat with me and he was shaking. He told me he's petrified. He got on that stage, nailed it, he soared. I saw some bits that weren't perfect, and I love those. Go out there and be you. Don't be anyone else but you. Don't be afraid to be you. People will buy from people. I say this all the time. They buy into the right people. The right people bought into me yesterday, and if I've just changed one person's life, then that's great. I'll take that. What's really funny is that I'm beating myself up about the stuff that no one else knows about, so no one else knows really that I went off script. People saw vulnerability in me. No one knows that actually I was in agony most of the day with my UC, my ulcerative colitis, pain all down my left side. No one really knows the extent of how Twitter broke yesterday. We had to move tweets over from TEDx's Twitter to Big Daddy's Twitter, and then back again, either side of my talk. Nobody knows the pain that we went through at the start, where we actually couldn't send tweets out. We need to let people. We've had a few challenges with Twitter this morning.
We have, yeah.
So I'll let you talk about that as well.
Yeah, I'm going to. So Sandy, Twitter decided today's the day to suspend our tweeting limit on our account slightly. So we can't send any tweets for the next couple of hours from our account, which is always good. Luckily, we've got Big Daddy PR, Steve here, who's doing our social media for us. So we're going to use his account to interact with people from initially.
Yep.
And then what we will do is, as soon as we get onto our account, we'll be there. But please look out for our hashtag TED.
No one knows how long it took us to get trending. And how quick that was, and what we went through to do that. No one knows that actually we had 26,000 online viewers. No one knows that we had 147 hours of viewing time streaming online. No one knows that we reached 6.7 million people in reach. Now, these are all epic things, and no one knows that I was up until 12 o'clock the night before my TED Talk, getting all of this stuff ready for that day. So, do you know what? I did okay. But you know what? I couldn't have done it with the team and support of my community, and they have been fundamental in me having an amazing time yesterday. My challenge is that I beat myself up all the time. So, but I'm just no different to anybody else. I said I'd have this energy come down. I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. Ironically, I'm like repeating history as to how I was after my bodybuilding shows. I was like, yeah, you have this come down. I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. And I'm just crashing my energy. I'm exhausted, slurring words. I mean, Christ, I can stare my eyes. It's weird. So in my typical style, let's at least keep this really, really valuable for you. I'm going to drop the link in. No, I'm not. I'm going to actually attach my TED Talk here. It's not going to be the edited TED Talk. It's going to be live from someone videoing it in the audience. You tell me what you think. I've been told it encapsulates emotion and passion and honesty and being real and a true storyteller with a proper real story to tell. It's not Goldilocks. It's not Little Red Riding Hood. It's my story. Please give me feedback.
He was a detective for 10 years and heads up a PR firm called Big Daddy PR. He specializes in something really unique, and something that I also feel quite personally about, is finding your motivation inside, your purpose, your heart, he calls it. And we had a really inspiring chat yesterday. So I'm very I'm very excited to bring up Steve Thompson. Give him a round of applause and welcome him on stage.
I believe that everybody has what I call a heart brand, and I would like to help you understand how I help people with that and help you to find that. I believe that everybody has this heart brand, and it is something which is deep rooted inside us, and it comes from those visions and values that we have really sort of embedded in us, and sometimes we can't find. It's a place where anyone from whatever age, race or religion can really live the life that they want to lead. And I believe because of the current state of the internet and my playground, which is social media, that we can all do this. It's a place where people can tell stories, share journeys and experiences. So I would like to take you back to October 2017, World Mental Health Day. I delivered a talk around using social media and video in particular to show people how easy it was to tell their story on social media and get over that fear. The talk went well, and in my typical style, I videoed the entire event. We had people viewing and engaging all around the room, and it was quite a liberating experience. One lady in the room even took up a vlogging challenge to get over her fear and beat her anxiety. Her name was Lorraine. She said, well, 30-day vlogging challenge. It was just to really drill down into how she could move her business forward. That afternoon, Lorraine tagged me in her first ever live video, and I was grinning from ear to ear. I mean, I was literally beaming, because I had a positive effect on somebody else's life and their business. So that day, I decided to go home and push myself that bit further, because I should practice what I preach. So I went home and I launched a Facebook Live. I entitled it The Fear of Video and How to Get Over It. Literally, get over it. It went well. I was pleased to say we had 1,000 views on that Facebook Live. I was absolutely blown away. I was like, what's going on? We had live guests as well from all over the world, literally. America, Canada, Australia, and even sunny Lowestoft. It's now turned into something else because people ask me, are you going to do that again?
What you won't see in my TED Talk is the fact that I am trying to tell a story, and then all of a sudden I get enveloped in this bubble, and I'm there. I can see the skin of the bubble. I can see the people on the outside peering in, wanting me to speak. I'm speaking, but I know that there is no sound going out of that bubble, and I weirdly have this voice in the back of my head telling me what I should be saying, but I'm trying to say something else because I've tried to fit a round hole into a square peg and they don't fit. Then what happens is I start to talk from, I just don't think about what I'm talking about. I let this weird head voice say stuff, and the weird thing is I'm talking about mental health, and if anybody knew that I had this voice in my head telling me what I should be saying, they would think I would be mad and would section me. But actually it's the inner me telling my story, and I was just fitting too much to a structure that didn't fit and suit me. So actually it's not about doing the perfect TED Talk, because who gives a monkeys about the perfect TED Talk if it's not you? So it's about giving the right presentation, display, talk, seminar, whatever it may be, but it needs to be authentic to you. So go all in on you. That's what I preach all of the time. It's right. I was too focused on structure. I may be knocking myself, and I may be being overcritical, and people will say this to me, oh, stop doing this, Stephen, but it's not that. I need to explain that actually I was me, but I was fighting me because of the fear of not being enough, not being good enough, being judged. We fear this all the time. Be you, go all in on you, get given the structure. So in my instance, it was TED. I was given the structure, but I tried to stay within that structure and didn't realize that it was not me. So take the structure, use it as a template, be you, go all in on you, be comfortable with you, and I hope this video brings you some value. Just go out there and rock you, and don't be worried about what other people think. Usually I'm not, for some reason. I think with the pressure of the day, the event, and wanting it to go so well and so many other stuff, I'm so tired that I can't explain myself, but I think you're gonna get the message in the picture. It's really funny, this energy crash and this tiredness, and I'm just exhausted, so tired. Stress and pressure are funny things. I think what was really interesting that I've identified is the fact that so many people were telling me, you're going to be amazing, you're going to be great, you're going to be perfect, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. And that caused me a huge amount of stress. And because I was trying to be all of those things for all of those people. And yes, that's great. And I very much appreciate that people value me so much. But I need to work out a way to park that. and just be comfortable with who I am. And I actually like who I am, which is really, really ironic. But I just didn't want to let people down. So I learned how to do an amazing TED Talk, but I learned the hard way and took on those pressures and stresses. And really, the only person that ever affected and got beaten up by it was me. Oh, bloody hell. You got the sound from my heart. Listen to your word, could you say I'm a man without conviction? I'm a man. I want to give you a massive thank you for watching this episode of The Big Show. If you've enjoyed it, then please like it. If you know someone who'll benefit from it, then please share it with them. I would love you to subscribe to our channel.